Today, let us concentrate on advanced rule structure. So, how can we create a advanced rule structure? So, only the difference, this is also in a structure which will give you the validation for a posting of a transaction, but only the difference, we can add a multiple segments, like n number of segments I can add it. If I have a more than 10 financial dimensions and all, I can use an advanced rule structure where I can add a more than 10 financial dimensions or 10 segments. So now let's see in the system how can we create it. Go to general ledger module. Chart of accounts, chart of accounts structures, configure accounting structure. So you can do it from here and tag the structure to your main structure. Otherwise, you can create it here and tag it here. Okay, so I will show you here advanced rule structure. So create advanced rule structure now. Click new. What is your advanced rule structure name? MT01. MT01. Click OK. Now see, if you can observe, so it is not asking for a main accounts, right? Because main accounts you will be already adding in a configure accounting structure. In this form, you supposed to add only the segments only. That is why it is asking to add a segments. Click on add segments. If you have more than 10, you have to come to advanced rule structure, add a segment. For example, I am adding a campaign. Okay, so like that you can add a segment. I'm just only adding one segment and I'm not making as a mandatory. It is a blank value. Okay, so it is an optional option I'm adding and activate it. Validate and activate. Otherwise, you can directly activate it also, not an issue. So now if you can see the status, it became active. Okay, so close the screen. And if you can see MT01 is active, you have created advanced rule structure. So now let's go back to your configure accounting structure and add this. Click on configure accounting structure. Now, which is your accounting structure? MT01. Filter with that. This is the one. Edit it. So the status become draft. Click on advanced rule. Click advanced rule name, also mention it, MT01. Create it. Add a advanced rule structure which you have created just now. Okay, this is the one which I have created. That's all. Close this. Close. Activate. That's all. So you can create advanced rule structure separately and again come back to configure accounting structure and add it so that both will have a link, right? Otherwise, if you create it and if you are not giving a link, definitely it will not be able to use it for a transactional post. Yes. So let it activate. Maybe it will get activated. So let it get activate. So this is about a advanced rule structure and configure accounting structure. So till now we have seen very small like basic steps: chart of accounts, main accounts, calendar creation, currency creation, dimensions creations, and structure creations. So now there is another important one which is required is journal names. Once we create a journal names, we can able to make a transactional posting into the system. So this is a final step which is pending before a transaction posting. What do you mean by journal names? Journal names is nothing but for each kind of transaction, whether it is a purchase order related or whether it is a vendor invoice related or whether it is a payment related, customer payment or vendor payment, I wanted to differentiate, right? Otherwise, if I don't have any kind of differentiation, I will not be able to understand what kind of accounting entry is this. So that is the reason we have a journal names. Journal names will be helpful to differentiate the transaction in the system. So based upon the journal type only, I can identify what kind of accounting entry it is. Okay, it will be journal names are very much required. So in every module you supposed to create a journal names and this will be helpful to differentiate your transaction. So now let's see how to create a journal names. Journal names will be available in general ledger module. For example, in accounts payable module, if you wanted to create a journal name, you have to come to general ledger module and create a journal name. Okay, so where is the close this screen? If you can see here, there is a separate section called as a journal setup. Click on the journal setup and click on the journal names. Now, this form is very much important. Whatever the validations you are giving in this form, okay, this will reflect on your transaction posting form. So if I am posting any journal ledger transaction, whatever the options I am giving here, based upon this only, that form will act. Okay, now let me create a simple journal. How can we create? For a general ledger module, I am going to create a new journal. So new, click new, enter a name as a journal. Few people will use a daily, few people will use some kind of different names and all, daily journal, anything they can select, that is okay. Whatever the name you wanted to keep it, please maintain the same name. Now, as I mentioned, the journal type is very much important. Okay, So the journal type is very much important. If you can drop down here, I can see n number of journal types are available. Some related to allocation, some related to bank, some related to cash, some related to customer payment, vendor payment, tax related. Multiple options are available. So currently I'm not bothering about payments or customer payments or anything. I'm only bothering, I wanted to make a transaction in the system in the general ledger module. Whenever you wanted to post any transaction in the general ledger module, the journal type should be daily. Okay, the journal type should be daily. Now the voucher series number sequence, you need to maintain it. Hope you have remembered, when we create a company, we have created a number sequence also, right? If you can drop down here, the list of number sequences which has been created in the system will display. If you wanted to use the any existing number sequence from the drop down, of course you can use it. Otherwise, if you wanted to create your own number sequence, okay, I wanted to create my own number sequence, how can I do that? Yes, if you wanted to have your own number sequence, please right click, go to view details, create a new number sequence, click new, tell me what is the name you wanted to have. uh, MT01, name MT01, the number sequence code. See, I will not show you again and again the same creation, number sequence creation. Click new, enter a name, enter a code. Now the next one, in the same way you can create any number of sequences. The scope should be company or legal entity. What is your legal entity or what is your company? Anything you can select it. Huh? Drop down. In the list, you can find out your company. For your company only, we are creating a number sequence, right? That is why select MT01. Now, whenever you are talking about a number sequence, the number sequence format will be company name, maybe company code, right? MT01. There is a hyphen, sorry, one hyphen, just it is a hyphen, and 00001. If you have 6-digit space, then your first number will come like this, MT01 hyphen 501. What is the next number? The next number will come MT01. This will be common, okay? This company, this hyphen will be common, and your number will get changed here. 0002, 0003, 004, then 00010, 11, 12, like that. Your numbers will keep increasing here. So the space, whatever you are giving, it depends. Few people will give only 4-digit space, means till 999. They can post a transactions. If you are giving 6 digits, how long you can post? Till 999999. This till this number you can able to post a transactions into the system. So if it is a huge company, huge transactions are there in the system, then they will give a very big number, like 6 digits or 7 digits or 9 digits, they will give it. My company is very small and I don't have multiple transaction, so I will give a 4 digits only. People will follow yearly basis the number, new number sequences and all. So if you're using a yearly basis number sequence and depends upon your organization turnover of the transactions, you can give the number. Okay, that's not an issue. If you give a big number also, that's not an issue at all. So if you can see here, MT01 is a 4 length and this is also one constant. If you don't want this slash, if you wanted hyphen like this, you can maintain it. Okay, not an issue. Anything you can maintain. And if you have the alphanumeric, there is a 9 spaces are there. I don't want 9 digits. I want only 6 digits. So if you change it here, this will get changed here. And if you come down, here also the number you need to change. Here also 9 digits are there. Remove 3 nines. 999. Just save it. That's all. Very simple creation. If you wanted to make it as a continuous, means the numbers will come continuously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. If you don't make it as a continuous, that means it is a non-continuous. In case of non-continuous also, the numbers will be almost in a sequence only. Sometimes if any number got struck or any kind of scenario, it will skip the number. That's all. So mostly you can use a continuous or non-continuous. That's not an issue. So save it. Now come back to your main screen. Type empty. See, my number sequence is available here. Save it. To create any journal name, you should have 4 options. One is the name and you should maintain the description. Second one. The third one is a journal type. The fourth one is a voucher series, number sequence. That's all. There are other options also are available. So let's try to understand while posting a transaction how each option is working. Okay, I will show you now. So we have seen the journal name creation, journals creation. Now it's time to record the accounting entry in the system. How to record the accounting entry, we'll see it. But before that, there is an option called as a financial dimensions here in the journal name itself. So we'll talk about the financial dimensions and journals bit later. So now I'm going back to the one of the important form. Before posting a transaction, I have to do one more activity. So let me do that activity now. Click on ledger setup. One important form called as a ledger form. So click on ledger form here. Click on edit. We already maintained a chart of accounts, physical calendar for the ledger form, right? And there is another one which you need to maintain, account structure. Click on add. Just now you created your accounting structure, right? What is that accounting structure? Try to map that. MT01. Select it. If you wanted to remove, please remove, or otherwise you can keep the same accounting structure. And recently you have created some exchange rate, right? Account currency exchange rate and all you created for your company. What is that? So select that also. And accounting currency and reporting currency for my USA company, I have given the same. What is accounting currency and reporting currency? Let's learn. But here I'm giving a currencies as a USD, and this form is having some other information also, like I need to maintain a realized gain, realized loss, unrealized gain, unrealized loss. So how can we maintain that? That is also, let's see it. So what do we understand by seeing a ledger form? Ledger form is very much important. It is a combination of chart of accounts, yes, physical calendar, yes, account structure, yes, exchange rate, and currency related accounts maintained. Till now, whatever we have created, did we assign in this particular form or not? Of course, right? Almost all the information, whatever we created till today, from the beginning to till today, we have tagged to ledger form. That is the importance of ledger form. If I don't tag any single option, whether chart of accounts or calendar or accounting structure or exchange rate, my system or my company will not be able to understand what is the exact option I need to select while posting a transaction. So that is why ledger form is very much important. Once you create all the configurations, you have to come to ledger form and you have to tag the information into the ledger form. Then only you can make a transaction posting and all. So this is about a ledger form. Now there is a 4 accounts are there. Let's try to understand what are those accounts. Accounts for currency revaluation, right? Realized gain, realized loss, unrealized gain, unrealized loss. So very much important. Let's try to understand what do you mean by in the point of interview also they can ask you what is the realized gain and loss and what is unrealized gain and loss. Okay. First of all, you have to create a ledger accounts. For realized gain, it is a profit or loss account, right? So it is a income account for you, and if it is a realized loss, it is a expense account for you, and unrealized gain is also income account for you, and unrealized loss is a expense account for you. So your some kind of expenses it is happening. Okay, so hope everyone knows about the exchange rate concept. We have seen exchange rate concept. For example, today I purchased a mobile. I'm staying in India. Okay, it's just an example. I'm located in India and I requested my friend to send a iPhone mobile on today's date. From USA, I requested. So today's date, what is the today's date? 24/02/2022. Today I have purchased. What is the cost of the mobile? He has mentioned that it is a how much it will be $500, sir. 500 USD dollars. When I convert into INR with today's exchange rate, 500 into 75 rupees, or let's take it as a 70 simple one. Okay, how much it will be cost? 735, 35,000. Of course, it is a 35,000. So today's cost is a 35,000. If I need to make a payment, then I need to make a payment of 35,000, right? Okay, since he is my friend, I informed him that I will make a payment once I get a salary. So 28th of February I thought of making a payment. So 28th February 2022 I got a salary and I need to make a payment. So making a payment, how much I need to make a payment in USD dollars? It's a 500 only. But today, when I go to exchange office, he has mentioned that Anusha, $1 in INR is 75 rupees today for today's date. So how much I need to deposit in INR currency? 500 into how much? 75. Can anyone tell me what is the value? 75 5s are 25. Okay. So did I make a loss here? Yes. If I make a payment on 4 days back, definitely I can save. What is the value? 37,500 minus 35,000. How much it is? 2,500. Huh? It's a 2,500. If I make a payment on 24th of February, definitely I can save 2,500 rupees. But unfortunately, I did not make a payment on the same day and I was not able to make a profit of 2,500. I got a loss now. Right? This is a loss, right? So when you are making a vendor invoice at the time of, if you're dealing with the different currencies and all, only you will get a unrealized. First of all, you should know when you are getting unrealized gain or loss. When you are dealing with the different currencies and you are converting into your own currency, then you will be getting a unrealized gain or loss. When you will get a gain, for example, so I make a payment of, I need to make a payment of 35,000, but on the day I did not make a payment, and after few days I made a payment, and during that time the exchange rate has been increased and I made a loss. Okay, the same example, let's try to, this is a unrealized loss. This is realized loss. Now take a same example. 65 or 60. Let's take 60. Did I get a profit or not? If I make a payment on 24th of February, I have to supposed to deposit 35,000 as in INR currency so that it will convert to $500. But I don't have money during that time. I had made a payment on 20th of February and when I went to exchange office, he told that, ma'am, you have to deposit 60 rupees. Like today currency rate is a 60 and 500 into 60, 30,000 if you deposit, it will become a 500 USD dollars. Then is it a profit for me or not? Of course it is a profit, right? So that is called as a realized profit. How much it is? 35,000 minus 30,000 is a 5,000 is a profit for me. Okay, so this is about the realized loss and realized gain. So whenever you are doing a settlement, whether it is a customer settlement or vendor settlement, settlement is nothing but making a payment to any kind of transaction. I booked something in a online. When the transaction will be closed, if I make a payment and if I receive a delivery, then my transaction is closed. That is called as a settlement. In the system point of view, realized gain or realized loss will come at the time of vendor or customer settlement process. How to do the settlement process and all, we'll see it in a later sessions in that particular modules. But you will get any kind of profit or loss during the vendor settlement or customer settlement process. Okay, what is unrealized gain or loss? When will I get an unrealized gain or loss? Unrealized gain or loss will come when you run the foreign currency revaluation process. There is a foreign currency revaluation process which is there for GL module and AP module and AR module. We'll see how to do that. But when you are running that process, if you get a profit, you will be getting an unrealized gain. If you get a loss, you will be getting unrealized loss. These kind of information, this kind of loss or profit will be coming during this process. Realized gain or loss will come at the time of customer or vendor settlement. Unrealized gain or loss will come at the time of foreign currency revaluation process. This is about these two options. Hope it is clear. We need to have a ledger account creation and we need to map it here. See here, I am not able to get an option to enter any main account. Let's try to refresh this screen. Let me reopen the form. See, now it got open. Now I need to create a 4 accounts. Can you tell me what are the accounts? Realized gain, realized loss, unrealized gain, unrealized loss. I need to create. Let me quickly create it. You can go from here also to create a main account. Go to view details. So as I told you, realized gain is a revenue for me. I will create under 4 series. Realized gain account, save it. Another account also you can create. Unrealized gain account. Now 3 series I need to create a realized loss, unrealized loss. Some realized loss. Okay, I just created accounts. Let's come to here and map it. Okay. Okay, so these are the accounts which we need to map it here. Any doubts in this process?